I have woken up today feeling so motivated. Literally, I woke up and I felt like there was this fire underneath me, and it literally just shot me out of bed. I got up straight out of bed, yeah? Got up, instantly started doing my workout. Okay, finish my workout, go shower, get ready. I just feel on fire today. And I want to say thank you. If you're watching this video right now, you are taking time out of your day to put new knowledge into your head. And people like that, they're my favorite kind of people. Because I would rather you be on this video to get new knowledge than because you like me. Because you may not like me in a week or in a month, but you will always have that thirst for knowledge, at least from what I've seen. People who are actually about the thirst for knowledge and growing and learning, that should only grow and grow as you get more information into your head. So let's jump into it. What are we learning today? Today, we're learning how to seduce anyone, okay? And you're not learning it from me, we're learning it from the Art of Seduction, which is a book I've read twice. So let's jump straight into it.
And rule number 1 is going to be create a false sense of security. Don't be too direct with anyone when you first meet them, because you're going to make your target most likely resist you for that. They'll know you're up to something and will try to stay away from you for that very reason. Back in ancient Egypt, the ruler Caesar had many women to choose from, but he would dispose of them quickly because he grew bored of them. But Cleopatra was different. She would tell him how together they could revive the glory of Alexander the Great and rule the world. The next day, she would entertain him and dress in whatever he desired most. His life with her was a constant game, and he loved it. When you first meet anyone, don't give them any indication that you want to seduce them. The seduction should start at an angle your target won't see coming immediately. Even if it's necessary, spy on your target and see what they enjoy doing.
Don't spy on your target.
Maybe your target has a thing for role-playing games. Do some light research upon the subject and then casually speak to them about it one day to lure them into your web. And the second point is, send mixed signals.
I'm very torn right now because technically what Robert Greene is talking about is correct. Okay, of course, if you were to spy on someone, find out what they're interested in, and then speak to them about it, you're building a bridge of similarities. That there's things they can resonate with you on. You're instigating positive emotions with them when they feel that you can resonate with them and that you have similar interests. So it builds that bridge of connection. I get it. But I'm not a fan of spying on people to do that, fam. If you can get the knowledge and it just comes to you somehow, cool. But nah, don't be spying on someone, man. Come on, because that's low value. I want you guys to be so busy you don't have time to watch nobody. The only thing you have time to watch is motivational videos. I don't fucking know.
When Caesar was killed in 44 BC, Mark Antony took the throne. But rather than giving up, Cleopatra invited him over to her land. After making him wait for her, she appeared before him, dressed in a way that he desired too. Although Antony knew about her seduction games and tactics, he still couldn't resist her temptations. And she fed all of his weaknesses that he loved, such as gambling, parties, and his love for drinks. And by the end, he became her slave. Once you get your target in your radar and intrigue them by who you are, you want to continue stirring their interest before they turn to someone else. However, don't make the simple mistake by being too obvious about it. This means don't be totally one-sided upon someone just to win their favor. If your target enjoys PC games, say you like PC games too, but you also enjoy playing the Xbox even more. This is the process of sending mixed signals to your target, causing them not to understand you as much as they thought they did. An unfinished puzzle always makes someone more interesting to someone. People often assume if their hobbies conflict with their target would then lose interest in them. But in actuality, it does the opposite and draw them into the circle instead. You create a power by hinting there's more to you than meets the eye. And the third point is, appear to be an object of desire.
Okay, I'm going to cut to the chase. No sugarcoating. Sending mixed signals does work. Because you're putting someone on an emotional roller coaster and journey, okay? 1 minute you're making them feel up, 1 minute you're making them feel down, and there's a journey, okay? And they don't know exactly how you feel because it's mixed signals. Mixed signals is quite literally uncertainty. They can't pinpoint what signal it is you're giving them, therefore there's more for them to ponder and think about. However, if you spoke to me when I first started this channel, I used to talk about this stuff, I used to advocate this kind of stuff. I'm slightly different now, okay? And the reason is the number one way to attract someone, more than any seduction technique, more than any game you can play, more than anything, okay, is being high value. If you are high value, you naturally give off mixed signals. If you are high value, you naturally have people chasing you because you have this energy about you. You have this behavior to you because you're busy, because you have several sources of self-esteem that essentially has people emulating you when they're reading books like this. The Art of Seduction, all these seduction books, they teach you how to emulate someone who's high value. Game seduction through methodologies and techniques, it works. It 100% works, but you are simply emulating someone as high value. Let's think about it. When people tell you don't respond to a text instantly, why? The reason they're telling you to do that is because it makes you seem like you're busier than you actually are. Why would you do that? Because someone who's busy is what? It makes it seem like you have a lot going on. High value people have lots going on. They are busy, so they naturally may take longer to respond to messages. That's one of a million different seduction techniques that give you an example that these books, these methodologies, they work. Okay, it's literally what I built my channel up on, teaching people. But what trumps all of that is being high value, because you'll naturally give off certain cues, signals, energies, vibrations that have people chasing you when you are truly high value.
There was a man named John who befriended someone named Samantha. Although the friendship started purely platonic, things started to change when Samantha started speaking to his neighbor, Jim. A jealousy he never knew existed grew inside him, and the more he saw Samantha speaking to Jim, the more he saw the possibilities of Jim taking her away from him. This then caused him to gain a greater affection for her, and he couldn't stop thinking about the way she looked, the way she smiled, and the way she smelled. But he also hated the idea of her and Jim being together. And this was how Samantha made John fall in love with her in the end. People don't want to spend time with someone who doesn't seem popular. It doesn't matter if you're a child or a grown-up. If you see someone who's surrounded by a crowd versus the person who's standing all alone, you'll be more attracted to the person who has more people on their side. People gather around those who have a lot of attention, so draw your victim closer to you by creating an aura of desirability. Even if it doesn't exist, you have to make your victim think you're wanted by many. Because once your target sees how popular you are, they'll want to test their own vanity by making you the preferred object of attention. So build a reputation for yourself that makes people think you're popular than what you really are, because all your victims will constantly think, there has to be a reason why so many people like that person. And for that question alone, they'll be more tempted to chase after you. The fourth is create a need by stirring anxiety and discontent. You can't seduce someone if they're completely satisfied with what they got now.
I agree with everything he said.
So you have to install tension and anxiety into your target's mind. Give them a feeling of discontent or unhappiness about themselves or their lives. Maybe you could remind them they're not doing what they always want to do with their lives. Or maybe you could remind someone they're not as great as someone else. This feeling of discontent will make you seem like the answer they need for their problems. And this is the process of using pain and anxiety to your advantage. The fifth is create temptation.
Okay, again, I myself literally have a course called Dark Game on this channel in my playlist where I talk about doing things like this. Okay, but like I said, it's not that my opinion has changed, it's that my opinion has evolved. Okay, this stuff works. No one's denying that it works. Okay, and the tagline on the top of my channel is getting the person you want by any means necessary. And sometimes this is the means that are necessary. However, like I said, you don't actually need to instigate negative emotions with someone for them to feel, for them to be in love with you. I'm a living example of that, right? Okay, I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet, okay? But I'm a high value person now, and I do not need to do any of this to get someone whipped round. Okay, I do not need to do any of this, and the reason for that is, like I said, when you are high value, when you are busy, when you are on your purpose, on your grind, and you're networking and you're socializing, you already have that aura of desirability, okay? Because you're networking and people can see you're advancing in things and you're talking to like-minded people, and maybe you're putting stuff out into the world and people are resonating with it and they're crowding behind you and they're standing with you. That is an aura of desirability. Stirring negative emotions in someone. When you're so on your purpose and so on your grind, you won't have time for certain people. That's going to give negativity to them. But it's you not doing it intentionally. You're not doing it to try hurt them. Okay? You're actually doing it to fulfill your purpose. But the byproduct of it, the side effect of it, is the same as what these people are intentionally trying to do. This is my point. Okay? And I'll touch on it more when this video ends. It works. Okay? I'm not saying it doesn't work.
By creating a pleasurable idea that is bound to come, such as how the serpent tempted Eve with the forbidden fruit. You can awaken a desire in your target if you know what they truly want. And don't think of an object of desire either. Remember, people always want a reason to give in to their temptations, whether it's eating something they shouldn't eat, going somewhere they shouldn't go to, or doing something bad. Everyone still has that desire to do something they repress deep inside them. They're only waiting for a reason to do it. This means you have to find a lack in someone's life in order to create temptation. It could be greed, vanity, boredom, or a hunger for forbidden fruit. The goal is to find a desire your target always wanted and presenting yourself as someone who could grant it to them. But keep it vague and make sure their curiosity remains strong. Make their curiosity stronger than whatever doubt or anxiety flows through their head. That way, they'll follow you without question and do what you desire. The sixth is, pay attention to detail. Anyone could say someone looks pretty or give someone a compliment of any nature, but words alone are weak. Your actions will be what your target would notice most, and you don't have to buy your target anything big to capture their interest either. You can distract your victim with a charade of little rituals filled with thoughtful gifts tailored just for them. You could buy small objects that are designed to please them and show that you are paying attention to the little things they enjoyed. These small actions will cause your victims to not see what you're really up to. And the seventh is, master the art of the bold move. This is perhaps the scariest step of all. This is where you finally get your victim falling for you, but is not ready to admit it openly yet. Perhaps they're shy, or simply too scared to make the first move. But if you notice someone mirroring your moves and giving you good signs, this would be the time to take action. Instead of using any signs of manipulations, simply go in with a bold move. Don't give the victim time to consider the consequences. This means you can't show hesitation based on what you're thinking. Whether you want to seduce someone by planting a kiss, asking them out, or asking for a favor, this is the part you have to do without making yourself appear weak. Overall, as dark and manipulative as this book sounds, it's meant to never let the other person take you for granted. Rather than forcing someone to do something, this book is about how to use the power of seduction to get someone to do what you want. And that's The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. Hey guys!
Okay, so I've read this book before, several times, and that is the only point in the book that I massively disagree with. In the nicest way possible, Robert Greene has 1,000,000 times more knowledge than me, okay? But what I doubt Robert Greene knows a lot about is actually making a move in person. There's two sides to dating knowledge. There is dating advice, relationship advice, and then there's pickup. Pickup is the actual practical side of meeting people, making moves, escalating. And that's a side that I have a lot of knowledge on. And then there's another side, which is the relationships, dating, psychological side of long-term attraction. Now, Robert Greene is trying to say that you should be making a move from a place of weakness. When you're with someone, don't give them any cue. When you're vulnerable, when you're in a weak position, or the conversation is weak, favoring against you. That's what it says in his book. He says make a move then. That's not true. The best time to make a move on someone is when the conversation is actually at a high. When there's positive emotions being instigated at the time, obviously, right? Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I don't have enough knowledge to understand what he's trying to say. But from my countless and extensive studies on this topic, I don't see where he's trying to get at with that point. I don't really understand it. Let's watch it one more time to see if I've misunderstood it. Yeah, I mean, the subtitles are picking up what I'm hearing.
Kids, asking them out, or asking for a favor. This is the part you have to do without making yourself appear weak.
Yeah, okay. We verified that he's saying what I think he's saying, or at least I think so. I disagree. Don't do that. You want to make a move or exit from a conversation when it's at its highest point. Okay, if you're going to make a move on someone, do not wait until the end of the night. Do not wait until the end of the day. Do it when the conversation is at the highest. Ideally, when you're close to them, eye to eye, vibe is correct. It's more about when it feels right. There's no logical time to make a move. There's no logical time to escalate. Okay, it's about when it feels right. But it's about doing it when it's at a high. A lot of people have a big issue when they're making a move on someone, where they do it out of the fact that maybe they feel like they should have done it before, or they need to rush to do it, or they feel like if they don't do it now, they might not be able to do it later. That's coming from a place of lack. It's coming from a place of it's coming from a weak place. Okay, like he describes you should do, which I'm telling you you shouldn't do. It should come from the place when the conversation or the vibe is at its highest. All right, and just back yourself up a little bit. All right, I'm sure if you are on this channel, you know what you're doing. You know about the game. You know about the attraction. All of that. You're calm. All right, make your move whenever the fuck you want, but don't do it at the end. For several reasons that I won't get into now. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m.